Hello and welcome to another episode of the Magic Kings podcast with the great big beautiful dads. This is Steve, a travel agent with Just Add Magic Travel, and I'm here with a special guest, one of our most special guests that we've had. And who are you again?
I'm Mary
Kate. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Mary Kate, your sister.
Yes, we're related.
Travel companion.
That's right. Thank you for coming on this podcast once again. One of our most popular guests, I would say.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. Truly.
My pleasure.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
I love to talk turkey.
Okay. I don't know if we're going to talk turkey. Shout out to Istanbul, but I think we're here to talk about a place that we visited, the two of us. We teased this on the last episode. Do you want to say where it was?
Do I want to say?
Yeah.
We went to Universal.
Wow, you went right to Universal with me.
Yep.
We visited Universal Orlando Resort.
Yes.
And it had been a long time since I'd been there. I'd never been to Epic Universe, nor had you, right?
Right.
And it was quite a time.
Yeah.
So I think I mentioned on the last episode and a couple times that I was there for a fam trip, familiarization, and part of the trip was a training, which I'll talk a little bit about just to get myself a little more familiar with Universal. But part of it was that we got some free tickets to Universal Parks.
Woo!
It was a ton of fun, and we appreciate. It was a great training. I know it's probably the least interesting thing to talk about on this podcast, so I won't probably talk too much about it, but thanks to everyone at Universal for a great time at that training. I actually did learn a lot, but I learned even more, I think, going to the parks. So we spent like 3 days at the three theme parks. We didn't go to Volcano Bay. It was about 10 degrees out. It was chilly.
Yeah.
We were there.
It was still warmer than home, though.
True, yeah. At home, it was truly under 10 degrees, probably under zero, actually. But so I don't know if this should be I don't think this should be a regular trip recap like we did last week, where I and you will just go through every beat by beat of every single thing we did. But we can talk about the general itinerary, and then talk about some takeaways that we have from Universal. Do you want to kick us off here with anything anything before we dive in?
Well, I think that the coolest part for me. Okay, so there are two fandoms there that I really, really love. And one is How to Train Your Dragon.
Yep.
And one is Harry Potter. And what I was going to say is that the coolest part for me is that all three parks have some Harry Potter in them.
True.
That was going to be my kickoff. That's
a huge kickoff, yes. So I think a lot of people who listen to this podcast probably have gone to Universal, but many probably haven't been in a long time, or they're Disney people.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're listening to this podcast and you're not a Disney person, that's probably pretty surprising.
Sure.
Shout out to you if that's you, but I think, and
they're Disney curious.
Yes, they're certainly very curious if they're listening to this. So
yeah.
But I am a Disney guy through and through. I have to say, I really did enjoy my time at Universal, and I definitely see it through you can't help but compare it to Disney.
Sure.
But what I would say is that certainly when we were growing up, 10 years ago, or let's say 25, 30 years ago.
Oh.
There was...
Didn't know I was coming on for this.
Okay, right. Yeah, maybe 50 years ago. Who knows? Soon enough. But when
Go on.
When Universal came to Orlando, there was one park for many, many years, and then there have been now two parks for many years, but people saw it as, this is a 1 day away from Disney. I'm going on a Disney trip, and we'll shoot over to Universal for 1 day. And honestly, I think for the first, 10, 15 years of Universal's history, that was actually their business model, right? We're going to take people from Disney. And now I must say that is just not the case anymore. I mean, as we'll get into, there are 3 theme parks. There's a fantastic water park. There are hotels on site. There is certainly enough to do for a whole vacation. There's certainly enough to do to stay in the hotel, stay overnight, do all 3 parks. You can't do it in one day. I mean, you cannot. And I think even when it was Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios Florida, the first 2 parks, if you really were just running through things, you probably could do a lot of what you wanted to do in one day, you know. Now you can't.
Yeah.
And so I just want to preface it by saying that if you're interested in, and I can book Universal, you know, I talk all about Disney, but I can book many things. I book sandals, resorts, you know, any cruises, anything, but
Royal Caribbean.
Royal Caribbean, you know, hey.
Has my whole heart.
Oh, wow. Okay. RC. Shout out to RC.
Yeah. But
Universal, for people who are going to Disney World, obviously my bread and butter, my favorite place. Universal Orlando is where it's at. You got to check it out. So
why wouldn't you while you're there?
Why wouldn't you? No, I think that's it. I think for some people, and I would fall into this camp before this, like, it's hard to take a day away from Disney. You could spend a month at Disney World and not do everything, right? So it's all okay. Are we going to take a few days away? Are we going to just do a Universal trip? You know, land in MCO and go to Universal instead of Disney or whatever. I think that's hard for some people, but it's certainly worthwhile. So
No. I got it. I figured it out.
Okay,
Maybe
let's
I
hear
am
it.
a travel agent.
Oh.
You get to MCO.
Yep.
You go to Universal for 2 days.
Yep.
You hop on a Royal Caribbean cruise.
Okay.
And then you do 4 days in Disney.
Okay.
To do each park.
Okay. All right. Reach out to me, everyone. I can book that for you. You know,
I probably will reach out at some point to do that.
That's a fantastic plan.
Yeah, I like that plan.
That's wonderful. So, all right. So should we dive into a little bit of what we did?
Yeah.
So we had a limited amount of time.
Yeah.
Let's say, you know, I didn't want to be spending all this time away from my family. I wanted to do the training, do the days in the parks, but I knew I had hit all 3 of the theme parks. So
You sure did.
We sure did. So we squeezed in on our arrival day, none other than the newest theme park that everyone's buzzing about.
Yep.
Epic Universe.
And it is epic.
It is epic. So we land at MCO. We stayed at Universal.
Yep.
And shout out to them, you know, stayed there during the training and during the days we were there at the Terra Luna Resort.
You know, that was a very comfortable, nice hotel.
It was. Very nice hotel.
Like, that was a very pleasant experience.
And for those who are, again, from a Disney guy perspective, I'm going to put the Disney guy spin on a lot of what we're going to talk about. Universal, similar to Disney, where they have the value, moderate, and deluxe resorts, Universal has 3 levels as well. So they have value, prime value is moderate, and then they have signature, which is deluxe. So Terra Luna is a prime value. And what I would say is that the prime value, it's Terra Luna, it's Stella Nova, which is the like sister hotel across the way. Those are both right near Epic Universe. Mm-hmm. Then there's a signature hotel called Helios, which is like in Epic Universe, which is kind of wild.
Yeah, that's a cool looking hotel.
It is. I found Terra Luna to be very like stylish, very cool. Much more like bare bones, I would say, than like a Coronado Springs, right? A moderate resort. Now, have you ever stayed there?
Oh, Coronado Springs. Had to be mentioned.
Yes.
Would it be an episode with MK without mentioning Coronado Springs?
I mean, I think, you know, as nice as Terra Luna is,
yeah,
I think a place like Coronado Springs is much more of a resort, much more of an immersive, you know, themed experience. Though Terra Luna was fantastic for what it was. It was great.
Like, yeah, it's not as heavy on the theming.
No.
But it's a nice hotel, and
yes.
it's like clean and comfortable and has everything you need.
And we actually had a view of Epic Universe.
Yeah, that was cool.
Which was kind of wild.
Yeah, that was a cool view.
So we liked Terra Luna. So we check in, we drop off our bags, and we're itching to go over to Epic Universe. So about 1:30 or so.
Like, I woke up at 3 a.m. so we could do this in the one day. Go on.
You know, and I was probably up anyway. You know, this is my normal. As I've discussed, I can no longer sleep in my old age. But we head over to Epic Universe, and we get in only around like 1:30. So my mission for Epic Universe was to get on as many rides as I possibly could. There are 11 rides at Epic Universe. So I had Express Pass. And I'll talk a little about Express Pass in a minute. And that was my goal. And what was your goal for Epic Universe?
My goal was vibes.
Vibes, yep.
That is what I stated ahead of time, and that is what I achieved.
You achieved vibes. You vibed it up.
That is how I vacation.
Yes. Hey, you vibe it up.
I like to be relaxed.
Wow.
I like to see what I'm going to see.
Can't relate. So
You cannot.
Can't relate.
A fever comes over you.
That's right. So I get into Epic Universe. I have to say, I was really blown away by a lot of things about Epic Universe.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, you come in to a sort of main area, central area called Celestial Park. Mm-hmm. You could think of it as a, Main Street USA kind of deal.
Yep.
Except there's a giant roller coaster and another ride, a carousel there. But the park is set up, there's the hub and spoke, set up of think of like the Magic Kingdom, right? And every park but Hollywood Studios at Disney is like this.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sure is.
Yeah.
Epcot sort of is kind of two hubs and spokes, but anyway. But the spokes are the different portals.
Right.
And there's Isle of Berk, How to Train Your Dragon. There's Super Nintendo World.
Yep.
There's the Wizarding World France deal.
Yep.
And there's Dark Universe, which is like scary stuff.
Yeah.
And the thing that's different about other theme parks is that once you're in a portal, you're in that portal. You can't actually go from one portal to another without coming back to the center. And everyone has seen these, but you go through this grand kind of portal entrance and you're transported to a new world. And it is kind of a wow moment walking through those portals.
Yeah. That's one of the coolest parts of the experience, I think, is walking into the portals.
I agree. Which one do you think was the most impressive to walk in?
Well, so I want to say Burke because I love How to Train Your Dragon so much, but I think that the one that really was overwhelmingly cool was Super Nintendo.
Oh my God.
It felt like walking into a video game, and it was like, boom, nostalgia, like hit you in the face for childhood. Like, oh my gosh. I'm in this video game.
Absolutely.
Even just like the spinning coins, the way that they were spinning was like how they spin in the video game. It was like, the attention to detail was crazy.
It was wild. You walk in and you're in a Mario game in the whole land, and it is something else to just take in that view. Yeah. But I have to say, it was a wow moment in all of them. Isla Burke, I would say, is a close second in terms of that.
Yeah. Because that's cool. That's the Vikings.
Yes.
The dragons and the boats and like the ships. That's just like such a cool vibe.
It is. They did a really good job with that kind of moment of entrance. I thought all four actually did a really good job.
Yeah.
So we actually started over in the Wizarding World.
Yeah.
Because I knew that I needed to get on what must be the most or second most popular ride at Epic Universe, which is Harry Potter and the Battle of the Ministry, which had a posted 210-minute wait, I believe. And I posted all this on my social media, Steve_JustSaidMagic on TikTok and Steve_JustSaidMagic Travel on Instagram. But I had the Express Pass. So I just want to take a moment. We don't have to break this down fully about all the Express Pass, but Express Pass at Epic Universe allows you to go on each ride except for one at Epic Universe through the Express line. So you can think of that as the Lightning Lane for all the Disney people out there. Except it's different from the Lightning Lane in a couple of very significant ways. On the one hand, what's better about it is that you can just go into that lane whenever you want. There's no return times. There's no pre-booking. No nothing. Okay? The downside is that the Lightning Lane, you're going to wait at the very most 15 minutes, right? Closer to 5, maybe 10 minutes for Lightning Lanes at Disney World. At Epic Universe and at Universal generally, they say you're going to wait. They promise that it'll be like half of the time of the posted time. I found it to be usually much less than that, but sometimes like a quarter. to a third, sometimes even less. So, for instance, with the Battle at the Ministry, it was a 210 posted wait, and I believe that line was long.
Yeah.
210 minutes is 3.5 hours for anyone out there trying to do the math.
Yeah.
I got on in just over 50 minutes, so it was a quarter of the time. Okay, fantastic ride. I mean, it's hard to even know what to compare it to at Disney World. I don't think there's too many rides that are quite like it. So I did that. And you saw the show in...
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to talk about that?
Le Cercle à Canoe.
Le Cercle à Canoe.
Didn't love that.
Okay.
Yeah, that was, I think, maybe my favorite thing at Epic Universe.
Wow.
And it was the first thing I did.
Well, it's all downhill from there. Okay.
Exactly. No, it was really cool. The theming there was cool because it felt like, I don't know, 1920s Paris circus with kind of spooky, kind of cozy vibes. But there was a pre-show, and that pre-show was really impressive and an important part of the whole experience. Like you need that pre-show, and it would, like, you wouldn't want to miss it. I know it's like sometimes at the pre-show you're like, whatever, but this is a really good pre-show. And then so you go into another area to it, like auditorium kind of with the seating to see the show itself. And yeah, I don't know how to talk about this without spoiling it too much.
I say you can leave it there. I mean, you can just say, yeah. I mean, yeah.
So, but it's based on Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. And yeah, just like the stage effects, I guess. Like it was just cool. I liked it.
That's
I'm glad
awesome.
I started there.
And I am too. I guess the queue for that ride, Battle at the Ministry, and for another ride we'll talk about in a little bit, Minecart Madness, will actually close a little bit early because the lines for those two rides are just so long that it's not like if you get in line, a minute before the park closes, you can still get on. It's like, no, the cast members would be there all night, if they did that. Not cast members, employees, whatever, but you know what I mean. So I knew I wanted to try to get on that. And there were even signs around that said this will close early. So just keep your eyes out for that if you're there, and that's kind of your must do. I would say the thing that blew me away more than even the ride itself was the queue. I mean, you feel like you're in the Ministry of Magic. It is the theming of certain things in Epic Universe was just so over the top and amazing. That, I think, was the single thing that blew me away the most in terms of theming. I'll talk about one other thing that kind of was right there, but that was amazing. So yeah, and again, we don't have to go through everything, the whole I want to talk about a couple more rides in particular, and then maybe just kind of run down a ranking of some of how my experience on the rides. I want to talk about Dark Universe.
Okay.
What do you think of Dark Universe? It
is a vibe for a specific taste.
Yeah.
It's spooky.
It is spooky. It's scary. So, again, through the Disney lens, we're thinking about the villain's land, right? Coming up in Magic Kingdom. I think with Disney, there is a level of warmth with everything they do. And when you think about Disney parks, and this will be a theme kind of throughout, what is the difference? There's very little, if any, like, violence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When there are attractions at Disney World. And there is a level of warmth, lightheartedness, even as they tackle serious things and scary things. And this did not have warmth in that same way, maybe on a certain dimension, but it was meant to be spooky and in a really cool way, I thought.
Yeah.
For me, it's not the vibe that I go to. I'm much more of a happy-go-lucky kind of, vibe. But they really, I think, nailed the theming of Dark Universe.
Yeah. And
I want to talk about a ride that I have been thinking about more than any, which was Monsters Unchained. What I'll say first is there's a couple of rides that have this ride vehicle at Universal. This ride vehicle does not exist at Disney World. you're on like a mechanical arm, and there's 4 seats that you're strapped in with a over-the-shoulder harness, and the mechanical arm like jerks you around every direction and takes you through a building, and takes you through the ride and through the scenes. It's really cool. I think the ride vehicle is something that maybe a lot of other theme parks have it. I don't know, but it was awesome. It jerks you around. It's thrilling, but it's not like on a track. I don't know. It's really cool. I think Monsters Unchained, if it was my vibe, would be my favorite ride that I've ever been on.
No way.
It is so just, I don't know, the level of immersiveness. I would compare the level of immersiveness to, have you been on Rise of the Resistance?
No.
Okay. So for those out there, I think Rise of the Resistance does this and I would honestly put it almost at that level. You know, even through the queue, you're in Frankenstein's mansion. It is creepy. I mean, and it's a huge building. I mean, you went through the queue, right? It's a huge building. You're in this mansion, you're going through, you're seeing this really weird stuff. And on the ride, it is a thrilling ride. It's scary but super fun. It's intense, and it is something else. It's like, and again, I don't want to spoil too much, but it's basically Frankenstein's granddaughter has brought the monster back to life, and he's fighting Dracula, and they have to stop Dracula, and that's kind of the story of the ride. And it's intense, man, but it is really cool. So I would definitely, don't take any kids under, I don't know, 13.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, even, going through the queue, there was a video as part of the queue that I was like, ooh, what is this video rated?
Yeah, right.
It's horror, which but that's the thing, like, it's theming that is specific for fandoms. Like, I think that's something that Universal does. That's like, if you like this, you will love it.
Yeah.
Like, it's for people, whereas Disney is catering to like everyone. It's like accessible to, most things are accessible to everyone. Yeah. So that's the difference. Is like, but if you want to deep dive in your interest, and it happens to be something Universal has, then you're gonna really love it. That's
a really interesting point, because I think of Galaxy's Edge, which is like, oh, is that an exception? And I do think you can appreciate Galaxy's Edge even if you're not a big Star Wars person. And I think you can appreciate Dark Universe and Monsters Unchained if I mean, everyone's heard of Dracula and Frankenstein, though I haven't necessarily seen those old, Universal movies or whatever. But yeah, it is very much like you gotta, I agree with that.
Well, I think it's for that, it may even be less that the thing that you're a super fan about is Frankenstein or Dracula. Yeah. But about horror.
Yeah, right.
Like horror movies, like that kind of a vibe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then you'll love it,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and like,
totally. Where else can you get something that deep dives that interest in that way?
Totally. And I do want to say, like, the vibe on the ride is not like haunted house, like jump scary. It's you're immersed in a world that is terrifying, and it's fun. You know what I mean? Even for someone like me, who I hate horror movies, I don't do that kind of thing. I enjoyed it, and if it was my thing, this would have been the best ride I've ever been on. I still loved it.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about that ride. I would encourage anyone of a certain age to go on it and just experience it. Even if horror is not your thing, it's really, really something else. So that's Dark Universe Monsters Unchained.
Very cool.
Yeah. And then the one we haven't really talked about, was it my favorite as an overall land of theming? I don't know, but the Isle of Berk was just,
yeah.
And I haven't even seen the original How to Train Your Dragon. It's just the live action when they came out, which I really liked. But man, it was that land. I felt like one thing I thought about the portals is that they were heavy on style. They nailed the style.
Yeah.
They were all a little bit small. to me. It was like
Sure.
these could all be twice as big and you could do more with them.
Yeah.
Super Nintendo World less so because there was the Donkey Kong Country area that was a whole other thing. I think that one was kind of the most complete. But Isle of Berk, though, had a lot. You really felt like you were there. I thought that was really cool, and the rides there were awesome too. So I loved. That's the one that I think I could spend like the most time in as a. I don't know what you think about that.
Yeah, since I just do really love those movies, that was really cool to get to spend time there and just stroll through and appreciate. Like I was just kind of looking out at the ships for a while and just chilling. Yeah, that was enchanting because there were also just little areas where you would see like little dragons interacting with each other, and I don't know, it was really cool.
It was, yeah.
And the merch got me.
Oh, are you a merch person? Oh,
well, I'm there for vibes and shopping, and
yeah, hey, no, it was.
I shopped a little.
Well, hey, no one's going to hold that against you. No, I totally agree. I think that was the one that had that warmth. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
The most of any. Yeah. Nintendo as well, for sure. But I don't know. That one I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
The feeling of being there.
Yeah.
So I want to. Do you have more to say about Epic Universe in particular? We're going to get to the other parks too. Yeah. I loved Epic Universe.
Yeah.
Of the three, I think it was by far my favorite. Not to say I didn't like the other two, just I was really impressed by the theming and by a lot of the rides at Epic Universe.
Yeah.
And I want to just run down the rides that I did.
Okay.
And how, or maybe I'll just talk about like maybe my top 5 or something. I didn't get to go on Minecart Madness because even though I had Express, it was a long wait, and then it was down for a long time when I was in line, and it just got to be too long.
Yeah. And
so unfortunately, that'll be my first ride that I do next time I go to Epic Universe. Mm-hmm. So that ride is not on this list, but I'll just talk about my top 5 rides. Number 5, Monsters Unchained, I just talked about. Incredible. Yeah. Number 4, the Mario Kart ride.
Yeah. I've
seen this ride get a lot of hate, that you're kind of riding through, but you're focusing on a screen in front of your face where you're playing Mario Kart in the real. I thought, though maybe it wasn't perfectly executed, it was extremely well done, and it was a ton of fun. I thought that ride was amazing. So
how could Mario Kart not be fun?
Totally, I agree. And I thought the technology of the ride, like, you really felt as though you were playing. Like, it wasn't like, oh, this is off or this is a gimmick. No, I was playing. So I thought that was extremely well done.
That's cool.
Number 3, Hiccups Wing Gliders. This is the roller coaster in Isle of Berk. And it's more of kind of like a family coaster, but it had a lot of kick to it. It had some theming and stuff to it, and some scenes that were not just roller coaster. And I thought that was an awesome ride, kind of like a Seven Dwarfs Mine Train on steroids. I think it's probably even better than Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, honestly. Wow. Maybe I'd have to think about that, but
maybe you should watch the movie.
Wow. I saw the live action one. Okay,
you did.
I did. Yeah. Shout out to Gerard Butler, who I figured out that was him like 90% of the way through the movies. Shout out to him. So, number 2, Battle at the Ministry, I already talked about. Incredible ride.
Yeah.
My number 1 was Stardust Racers. This is the giant roller coaster you see when you come into Epic Universe in Celestial Park, again, that like Main Street area. And Stardust Racers, it's 2 roller coasters going at the same time, and they're like dueling. This is what I thought Tron was going to be.
Oh.
Because, you haven't been on Tron.
No.
In Tron, part of the gimmick is that you're Team Blue, and you're competing against Team Red. When it first came out, I assumed that half of the ride was Team Blue, half was Team Red, and you were racing.
That would have made sense,
yeah. You're not racing in this, but they're 2 roller coasters that kind of go intertwined with each other and go at the same time. So I went on yellow. There's yellow and green. One of the most thrilling, best roller coasters period that I've ever been on. Wow. And there was just, though the theming wasn't there like in Hiccups Wing Gliders, it was a total thrill roller coaster with some, dare I say, what's the word, like elegance to it. It was just extremely thoughtfully done in so many ways. So unique. There's like, I don't want to spoil too much about it, but Stardust Racers was my favorite ride in all of Universal Orlando. And it was my favorite ride at Epic Universe. I could do that ride over and over again. And it's a doozy. It is a thrilling. You're upside down many times on that, but it is quite a.
You're so brave.
Ride. Thank you. You know, hey, I try. So that's Epic Universe. Shout out to EU.
What a good start.
Worth
the early wake up time.
Absolutely. So the next day I had my training.
Yep.
And we talked a lot about we did some hotel tours as well. We toured Terra Luna, where I was staying, but we toured hotels on all three of those levels. I'm not going to hang here too long, but we toured a Value Hotel, the Dockside Inn, and we toured the Hard Rock Hotel, which is a signature. I just want to say two things about these.
Let's hear it.
I was really, really impressed by the Value Hotel, the Dockside Inn. In terms of theming, it doesn't compare to the Values at Disney World. In terms of the quality, like the lobby, the doors are inside. It's not motel style.
Yeah.
The rooms are very spacious. I think in terms of a just straight up hotel, it's easily nicer than any of the Value hotels at Disney World.
Okay.
And the price is very similar. So, if you don't necessarily care about a gigantic, Lady and the Tramp statue, which I do, so that's kind of what sells me.
What do you mean you don't care
exactly.
about?
But if you want more of a, just a really high quality hotel for a really good value, I would stay at that Dockside 10 times out of 10. It was really nice.
That's good to hear.
Yeah. And the other thing I'll say about the signature hotels, so there's more than 3 signature hotels at Universal, but there are 3 that have what I'm about to say as a benefit. Okay. Many people know this, but I just want to say Hard Rock Hotel is one of them. And it is, if you stay there, you get a free Express Unlimited pass. I want to talk just for a minute about that.
That's a good perk.
It's a great perk. So the Express Pass I talked about, you join that at Epic Universe, you join that Express line for each ride once per day, and it saves you at least 3/4 of your time in line most of the time.
Yeah.
So it's a really great benefit, especially at Epic Universe. The Express Unlimited Pass that you get by staying at one of those 3 signature hotels at Universal is for the other 2 parks. So Universal Studios Florida and Islands of Adventure. It is not for Epic Universe. Okay? So I just want to put that out there. You have to buy that separately. But you get Express Unlimited Pass. And what that means is that you can get into that Express line as many times as you want for that ride. So this is a benefit that is better than the Premier Pass at Disney World in terms of that you can go in it. Now, it's not better in that the Lightning Lanes are faster than the Express Pass for the long wait rides, theoretically. But it's better in that you can go on some of those marquee rides at those 2 other parks as many times as you want.
Okay.
It is so worth it. And the nice thing that I'll say is that you get it for each day from check-in to check-out. So one thing that you could do, and people do this all the time, get in touch with me, I can make this happen for you. You stay 2 nights, you get it for 3 days. You get it for the day you check in, the next day, and then the day you check out.
Wow.
Even if you stay for 1 night, you get it for 2 days.
Oh.
And you can show up at that hotel at 7 o'clock in the morning, get your Express Pass, and then use it for 2 days, sleep there that 1 night, and check out. Now it might be a little crazy. I might say do 2 nights at least, but they're fantastic hotels anyway. You'll be tempted to stay there longer anyway. But that benefit, let me tell you something. If Disney was smart, they would do something like this. Disneyland is experimenting with this, where if you stay at one of the 3 on-property hotels, you get an extra Lightning Lane. So that's like something. I'm like, Disney's gotta start. I mean, who knows? They're not hard up for maybe deluxe hotel stays anyway, but it already makes so much sense to stay on property at Disney. I think this would make it a no-brainer. So anyway.
No, that's an excellent benefit.
It's excellent. It really is. It's
because I think that it made, just for the express passes that you were using, it made such a huge difference in the experience.
Oh yeah, it was a total game changer. And I mean, I should have said this off the bat. The price of these express passes is another downside. Think more premier pass prices at Disney, where we went in a maybe slightly lower crowd time, probably about average, I don't know. And they're between $150 and $200 just for the express pass. Yeah. And that doesn't include your park ticket, obviously. So it's kind of like buying another park ticket on top of, top of your park ticket. So that's the deal with express pass. So if you're going, say, with a family of 4 and you want to do express pass, express unlimited even is a little bit more if you're interested in that, then it's pricey and it's worth it. I mean, I hate waiting in line. I always think those things are worth it.
Yeah.
So to me, that benefit is incredible. If I'm going to Universal, I'm staying at one of those 3 signature hotels. That makes it a no-brainer for me.
Is it a better deal than staying at something like Terra Luna and buying the Express Pass Unlimited?
It depends on the time of year. And obviously, it depends on how much you value that Express Pass. Okay? I think everyone would value it at least somewhat. But if you're a family of, say, 3, right, you're getting a higher quality hotel experience.
Yeah.
Plus, you're getting those Express Passes. I think it makes total sense. If you get much more than that, if you get to a family of 4, I think it gets to be kind of a slam dunk. Like, just stay even the 1 night, 2 nights at those hotels.
Yeah.
It makes such a big difference. And the thing, it's not just about waiting in line. It's like, you're not checking the app to see what the wait times are over here. You're not going back and forth across the park.
Yeah.
You do each ride that you see whenever you want to do it. I mean,
I think that makes sense for the way that it's laid out there too.
Yeah.
To not go back and forth.
At Epic Universe, it makes a huge difference.
Well, yeah.
Because you're crisscrossing. You can't go between the portals, so you're going back.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes sense for the other parks as well, just not to have to. Yeah, I mean, there's the big like water in both parks that you have to kind of go around. I don't know. It makes a lot of sense to just be able to go from place to place and do what you want to do. It just takes that level of stress and planning and headache out of your day. So
right.
I don't know. So shout out to that benefit. Universal hit home run with that, I think. So thanks to everyone again at Universal for the trainings. It was awesome. And then the next couple of days, we were checking out the original 2.
Yep.
And the way Universal's laid out is that those 2 parks, so Universal Studios Florida. So if you went in the 90s, that was Universal, right?
Right, yeah.
So that park is called Universal Studios Florida. And the second park is Islands of Adventure. They're right next to each other.
Yeah.
And you walk through security and you go to a place called City Walk, which I would say is kind of like a downtown Disney and Disneyland, kind of a smaller shopping and restaurant. And there's other stuff to do. There's mini golf. There's like the escape room kind of things. There's a movie theater or whatever.
Oh,
so there's a lot of stuff to do there. Yeah, it's a cool area. But you just walk through City Walk and you go from one park to the other that way. So they're right next to each other. Epic Universe is down the street. And if you're staying on property, just like Disney, there's free buses that take you to these places.
Yep.
And there's walking paths for the hotels that are close to the parks, which is many of them, including some of the values. You can walk to, the original 2 parks, which is, again, not the case at Disney. There's very few that have walking paths to parks, and you're paying a big premium for that. So on our training day, we did the Epcot after hours.
Yeah.
And so we were out late. And so you wanted to, and I had to write this down. Is it sleep in the morning? Is that right?
Yeah. Yes. It was a comfy bed in a nice hotel. I was up late.
Yep. Well, as listeners of this podcast know, I no longer sleep. And so I was awake.
You gotta get a handle on that, buddy.
And I believe you woke up to a couple of text messages. Is that right?
Yeah. I'm gone. I was like, okay.
FYI.
I'm in the park getting on a ride.
Islands of Adventure opens at 8 o'clock.
You genuinely
just
were
going.
like, take your time in the morning.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Just
Yeah.
relax. We don't have to get anywhere at any specific time. And you were like, I'm getting on a ride. When I open my eyes, the first thing I see is that text. I'm like, okay.
I had already been on like 3 rides,
Yeah.
but well, yeah, what else am I doing? I'm just sitting
Sleeping.
around. Nah, I don't know about that. I never heard of that.
Okay, great.
Okay. So I'm up and I got my express pass in hand and I'm raring to go.
Yep.
So again, I don't have to talk about every single thing I did, but I had a fantastic time. I started at Islands of Adventure. So that park, when we were there, had early entry. So that's another benefit of staying on site at any of the Universal on-site hotels. One of the 2 original parks, plus usually Epic Universe, is open an hour earlier than it is for the general public.
Fancy.
So yeah, exactly. So I hopped on the bus, got over to Islands of Adventure, headed straight back to Hogsmeade.
Hogsmeade.
Went on the 2 of the rides. I didn't go on the little kiddie coaster as a solo, gigantic 37-year-old man. I didn't feel as though I could go on the kiddie rides by myself. Oh, just one. Oh, it's just me. Sir, keeping our eye on you.
Damn it.
So, hey, move over, Scotty.
Let's keep this magical.
Exactly. But I did go on the Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey, which was, I talked about Monsters Unchained. That's the other ride at Universal. It has the same kind of ride vehicle where they jerk you around. I thought that ride was fantastic. And then I went on Hagrid's Motorbike Adventure. I don't want to spoil anything, so whatever. This was my favorite ride at Islands of Adventure, for sure. It was I think my second favorite overall after Stardust Racers was Hagrid's.
Wow.
And it's just so much fun. It's a great roller coaster. And I was in the motorbike. I had probably like a 60-year-old Brazilian man next to me in the little sidecar.
Nice.
And we were best friends by the end of that thing. We were high-fiving. It was the best.
Nice.
So he didn't know who he was getting in with, but he was. And that, I just want to say, that wait was posted at 140 minutes. This was at probably 8:45 in the morning. I waited 18. So
Can't beat that.
I think a lot of the waits were inflated. This one might have been the most egregious. I didn't think the line looked that long, like to be over 2 hours, but I was on in under 20 minutes. So
Can't complain.
you can't complain about that for sure. I waited almost as long for Forbidden Journey, where the posted wait was 15. I think I waited like 10. So anyway, and then I want to talk about a couple more rides. I headed over to Velocicoaster right after that.
Okay.
Which is, many people put it on like the top roller coasters in the world kind of list.
Wow.
It's in that top 5, top 3, and I see why.
What about it?
It is easily the most intense roller coaster I've ever been on. I was out of my butt off the seat because of drops and everything for half the ride.
Oh.
I mean, you're upside down 1,000 times. The drops, the intensity. It was so much fun. It's smooth as butter, but it is like you are moving, baby. It is something else. That should have been my favorite ride.
Yeah.
Hagrid's, with the whole theming of it, did it, and then Stardust Racers, just something about it was amazing. But this would have been, those are my top 3. Velocicoaster, I would encourage anybody to go if you want a challenge of a roller coaster and you want to, experience that, go to Velocicoaster. That getting on Hagrid's and Velocicoaster right there would be worth the express pass.
Really?
Yeah. And if I wasn't sort of dead set on, I got to experience everything, I would have probably just gone back and forth all day. They're kind of right next to each other. And it's been like those 2 rides I could have just lived on. They were incredible.
Well, now you know for next time.
Absolutely. Yes. So Islands of Adventure is a ton of fun. Universal, if you went back in the day, you probably experienced a lot of simulator rides where you're looking at a screen.
Yeah, but I didn't get slimed.
Oh, did you get slimed back in the 90s?
Yeah, you don't remember?
Not really.
Well, when we went, it was back in the day when Nickelodeon used to slime people.
Oh, yeah.
And we watched people get slimed.
Oh.
But I think, were convinced that if we went there, we would get slimed.
Oh.
But we didn't get slimed.
Okay.
Which is honestly probably for the best.
You kind of did get slimed, though. This is the thing I remember the most of our trip 30 years ago to Universal. is that
How could you possibly bring this up?
Well, it's good luck for a bird to poop on you.
Is it?
I remember. Well, that's what they say. I remember there was a experience back then called Confrontation.
I can't even believe this is
and
coming
then
up.
Our mother, shout out to Mimi, said crap-frontation, and I don't think I've ever seen her laugh so hard at the joke she made.
I was so annoyed because I was grossed out. At that age, you can't tolerate stuff like this. You don't have time for it. So we go into the ladies' room, and she's supposed to be wiping the cock-a-doodie off my hair, laughing too hard to see through. Couldn't do it, and I was like, "Tighten up, Mimi. Get this off my head." And she's like, "Oh, this is so..." I had 2 French braids, and it just missed my part. It was so close to skin.
It was a bullseye. What a cherished memory.
Genuinely, it is like a cherished family memory for everyone but me, and it just makes the dynamics really clear.
Oh, that's fantastic. All right, so shout out to crap-frontations. But
It did get slime.
But so anyway, so back then
all right, that's enough for me. Mic drop.
So you recall a lot of these simulator rides, and I would say the rides that are, so there's a couple of kinds. There's ones that are like kind of a poor man's Star Tours.
Okay.
And there's some that are kind of like a poor man's Remy's or Mickey and Minnie's.
Okay.
Like I went on the King Kong ride, not Confrontations. It's a different ride at Islands of Adventure now. And you're in a little Jeep and you're going through and you're seeing a story. And again, it's kind of like a violent story. Like this dinosaur is like eating each other and they cut the leg off a dinosaur. It's like gross stuff.
Yeah.
But you're just kind of watching it. And it's kind of shaking you around a little bit. And I'm like, you know, like it's kind of some of those. So I would say.
Did you get scared?
No. And there's a gigantic like Kong animatronic head as you get go through, and like, oh, it's supposed to be kind of like a, you know, he's just kind of looking at you and whatever. So I don't know. Like there's some rides I'm like, that's it? That's all there is to it. Some of the rides are really well done though, like that are like that. But that was one I just remember at Islands of Adventure. And there's ones that like, there's this Dr. Doom's like thing, and it's like the classic theme park ride where you go up the giant pole and down, and I did it, and that's really all it was. It was like we went up once and we came down slowly, and that was it. I'm like, oh, okay, that's the ride. Okay, great.
Doomed.
Yeah, exactly. So Dr. Doom, and so you go through, and like one thing I kind of liked was that there's a Marvel area. You know, Disney owns Marvel, but Universal has the licensing, I guess. And, you know, for Universal Orlando to use the Marvel characters, and it's Marvel characters from like before they were movies. Like it's the comic book characters.
Yeah.
It's very much a throwback. There's a Hulk roller coaster, which was incredible. That's part of that land. That was a really amazing ride too. And so it's kind of cool. And so I don't really care about the Marvel movies, and so I kind of actually like that aspect of it. There's a Spider-Man ride that I would say is like the kind of the poor man's version of Remy's kind of situation type of ride, which was pretty good.
Yeah.
There's the Toon area where it's like comic book characters and like Popeye, and there's a Dudley Do-Right ride that I actually went on. It's a water ride.
Oh, okay.
Like it was very cold, but I still went on it. It was cute. It was
dedication.
Yeah, exactly. I had to experience it, so it's a very big drop, and it was cool. So
Steve was like, "I'm here.
I'm here. Might as well, you know. Hey,
I'm gonna do it."
And I don't know when we met up, but it was, pretty
I got there
long
at like noon, you know.
I had done like most Islands of Adventure rides, use my express pass.
I was like, let me get some coffee and read for a bit.
Yeah, exactly. One cool thing I did that day was the Hogwarts Express.
Yeah.
And this is a thing a way to get between the parks. And you went on it later. What did you think of that?
That was so cool. And I didn't know how cool it was gonna be. I didn't know about any spoilers or anything.
Yeah.
So then it was a pleasant surprise for how it went.
Yeah. It's definitely an attraction in and of itself, but it does get you between the parks. You must have what's called a park to park ticket. and that's essentially a park hopper, but it works a little bit differently from Disney, where certain park-to-park tickets are only between the two Universal Studios Florida and Islands of Adventure. Some, if it's longer, like if it's over 3 days, includes Epic Universe too.
Okay.
But you must have a park-to-park ticket in order to even get on that, because it takes you between the two parks. So, but yeah, so over the next, so we did both of these parks over the next 2 days, but just to talk about Universal Studios Florida, the original park, I really liked the vibes of this park. Maybe the most of the three.
Yeah.
I don't know. It had a level of that warmth that I think I was missing in the other parks.
Yeah.
I think the attractions, it was probably the lowest on my list, but in terms of the vibes, it was probably the highest, I would say.
Yeah. There's a nostalgia there too for some reason.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we went there when we were kids, and I remembered it when I went there last August. But yeah, it's a fun place.
It is. It's really cool. I would say of the three parks, the Harry Potter area, which is Diagon Alley in Universal Studios Florida, in terms of, again, the vibes, far and away the best of the three. I think
Diagon Alley is my favorite part of anything that we did at Universal.
Yes. It's the one land at Universal that I would put on the level of a Galaxy's Edge, of a immersive experience.
Yeah.
You really feel like you're there. I think all three Harry Potter lands do that. I think Diagon Alley did it by far the best of the three.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it was even close. So
it's really incredible. And the dragon.
That dragon. Do you like dragons?
I do love dragons. I'm wearing my dragon earrings.
Oh, shout out to dragons.
Yeah. It's hard to top Diagon Alley. Like, you could just spend so much time there too.
No, it is. You can get lost in there. You can just, it's like Galaxy's Edge. It's like, that's a reason to go to Universal.
Yeah.
Is that, especially again, when you add in the Hogwarts Express, you go to Hogsmeade there and the rides over there. Oh, bless you. Oh my gosh. How many is that? Was that 4?
I'm so sorry. I'll go.
But anyway, yeah, I think so. Shout out to Diagon Alley. It's really cool, and the ride there, the Gringotts, is actually a roller coaster, but it's kind of a different kind of roller coaster. I loved it. I actually loved all the Harry Potter rides, I have to say.
Okay.
I think all the rides were fantastic in all three of the lands. But some of the highlights to me of Universal Studios Florida, like I said, the vibes. So
feels like old Hollywood kind of vibes.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah. And you have the different areas of, like, this is New York, this is San Francisco, and just, I don't know. There's the Simpsons area, which I like the Simpsons. I'm not a big Simpsons fan by any stretch at all, but I enjoy that. But I thought the Simpsons area was really well done, actually. I really liked the Simpsons ride, which is a simulator ride. I would say, again, a poor man's Star Tours kind of vibe. But I thought it was really well done, really fun, really funny. That was kind of one of my highlights. Cool. I'd say also the Men in Black ride, which is, I would say, a ride like Buzz Lightyear, Space Ranger Spin, is not quite as good as the Men in Black ride. It's a similar kind of ride. Okay. I would say I might enjoy the Men in Black. I think it might be more well done. Again, I felt like I was actually playing, and I don't know, they really spun me around. It was a really fun, cool ride.
Here come the Men in Black.
Exactly, Men in Black. Shout out to Men in Black. Tommy Lee Jones, Will Smith. I mean, those guys. What a classic.
Yeah.
They don't make movies like that anymore, let me tell you. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
So shout out to Men in Black. Or one thing I want to say is that, again, the Transformers ride, I would say, again, that like the Spider-Man ride, poor man's version of Remy's. But at the very end, the ride broke down just for a couple of minutes. The ride stopped. And actually, it was over. Like, we had gone through the last scene, and the last scene just ended, and then the ride broke down. So for me, I didn't miss anything.
Okay.
When we got off the ride, they were handing out paper express passes. So just to say, I'm glad that happened to me because I just saw this is how they do it. There was just somebody there handing out the and I went to the next ride. I already had an express pass, but I went to my next ride and used that, and it worked just like a regular express pass. So
cool.
It's like the Lightning Lane, whatever they call it, experience redemption kind of situation, but they just hand out a paper one. So
that's nice that they do that.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. So just wanted to say that again. That I'm looking at my notes. That Transformers ride, posted wait of 55 minutes. I was on in 8. Express Pass did pretty good on that one.
Yeah, wow. 8's like what it takes to walk through a queue.
Yeah, exactly. 8 was nothing. It was a walk on. So I also just want to call out, this is one of the only, if not the only, ride that is still there from the opening.
Oh.
It is the E.T. ride. I have to say, I loved it.
Yeah. You were enchanted.
I was enchanted. I don't know that I have seen E.T. from start to finish. If I have, then it was when I was a very small child. I don't have that nostalgia about E.T. the movie.
You have, because Dad bought us that VHS when we were little.
I don't think he ever sat me down and made me watch it, though.
I mean, I did. What were you doing?
Maybe I was too young. You know, I'm much younger than you, so maybe I just don't remember.
Oh, brother.
Maybe you were.
Go on. Whatever. Moving on. Forget it.
But you're sitting on the bike.
You don't
like
deserve
the ride.
E.T.
The ride vehicle is the bike, and you're going through, and you want to talk about warmth. That's that warmth was there. They say your name at the end, and you're like your friend, and he says everyone's name. I don't know. There's just those touches for that ride. I was one of my favorite rides. One ride that was down was the Mummy roller coaster. I was really looking forward to that. It was just down for a few days while we were there, so it's too bad. But that was some highlights of Universal Studios Florida. Again, we've been talking a long time here, so I said I didn't want to go ride by ride, and I didn't. But I talked to.
Well, it's wonderful that you are so enthusiastic about the experience.
Oh, it was great. It was great.
Yeah.
I did have a few kind of overall takeaways, but I wanted to know if you had anything that you wanted to discuss about Universal.
Anything I wanted to discuss about it?
You know, I can go on and on, but.
Well, yeah, go on then.
Oh. All right.
Don't let me stop you.
No, nothing can stop me now, but. So,
you're so trackless.
Yeah, exactly. I have a couple of criticisms of Universal.
Oh.
One is that they don't take accessibility seriously.
No.
I'm just going to say that outright. They simply don't. And as much as they say they do, they don't.
Yeah.
And I have a couple of examples of that. One is, if you consider yourself plus size, you can go on almost no rides. I mean, and those who shout out to the plus size park hoppers, like they if you see any of their videos, you know this already, but I don't mind saying, like, I fit on every ride, you know, but I barely on some of them. I want the Hiccup Swing Gliders was an example where I truly almost didn't fit, and there was a few others. I don't mind. I'm like 6'4". Okay, I would say I'm like a little big, a little tall. You know, I have like a 50. I'm like a 50, you know, size in my suit jackets, to give you a sense of just my kind of size in the world. So I'm a big guy, and I fit on everything. But it was tight on some of these rides. If you are much bigger than me, including much taller than me, you are going to struggle at Universal. And if you're just a notch bigger than me, you are probably not going to fit on the majority. When I say most, I mean it. Most of the rides. Mm-hmm. Certainly at Epic Universe. Mm-hmm. Epic Universe came out in 2025. It just opened. What are we doing?
Yeah, the planning didn't seem to be there.
They don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't care. Yeah. So shame on Universal for that. I mean, honestly, that was mind-blowingly bad to me. How can we be doing this in 2025? So I mean, again, compared to Disney World, my size, I feel a little squished on Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, my legs. And Tron, I'm a little bit tall, but I'm pretty comfortable on Tron. I think those would be the only two rides I would have anything to say about in terms of size at Disney World. I mean, Space Mountain is a little, but you can fit on there. It's just not super comfortable. But I'm telling you, at Epic Universe, it's like probably Yoshi's Adventure, Is there another one? Maybe the Mario Kart ride. Maybe not. So anyway, it's a joke, and Universal really should answer for that. I think that's unconscionable. So I don't have any saving grace for that one. That's just a bad thing that Universal does, and I was pretty shocked and annoyed by that. The other was, I can bring you in on this one. We went to the Leaky Cauldron. Had a great meal at the Leaky Cauldron. I had my butterbeer, I had my pumpkin juice, and I had this like seafood pot pie kind of thing that was actually really good.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you're aware of this as my sister, but I have a tree nut allergy.
I'm aware, and I filed a complaint.
Yeah, wow.
I did.
I have to say, so should we just get into the story of what happened?
I think this is an important thing for people to know because, like, food allergies are a really serious, potentially life-threatening thing, and you want to know when you're going somewhere that you're going to feel safe about it. So if you need extra precautions when you're going somewhere, I think it's important to know that.
Yes. So
not that I have food allergies, but you know.
Yeah. So I have a tree nut allergy, and as far as I know, it's not life-threatening, but whatever. But you know, it's still an allergy.
Yeah.
And we go to the Leaky Cauldron, really cool restaurant, with everything at the quick serves at Universal. You mobile order. So even if you're in the restaurant, you scan a QR code and order from your phone. Okay, fine. Which for many people was confusing. Like the people next to us at the Leaky Cauldron were like, "Oh, we're ready to order." Like they didn't understand, which I don't blame them for. It wasn't really clear. But anyway.
Well, there's a lot of also international people or just people who speak different languages, and it's not clear what you're supposed to do.
Yep.
So then they were like, need a hand here, you know?
Absolutely. So anyways, that's a whole other thing. But actually, overall, I kind of liked it. It got things done faster, I thought. But when you mobile order, you can add something to your order that's like an allergen note. And what it is it says, after you order, but before your food comes, somebody from the kitchen will come and talk to you and talk about your options. That's what the little thing says. So I added that to my order because I'm getting butterbeer. I don't really know what's in butterbeer. I don't know what's in pumpkin juice.
Sure.
It doesn't list the ingredients.
Well, you never know. That's the thing. It doesn't tell you what the allergens could be.
Right. And
you have to order first.
And it's funny because on the app, when you order on the menu, it doesn't say anything about the ingredients.
Yeah.
If you look in other places, it lists allergens, but it lists every single allergen for every single item. Yeah. And it's because there's no dedicated allergy-free facility, which my allergy is not bad enough where I don't, it can share equipment. It's not that serious, but that's also obviously not helpful, right? Yeah. It's like this seafood pie doesn't have, tree nuts in it, I mean,
yeah.
So, but it's listed right on the menu. So obviously that's not helpful. So, okay, someone's going to come talk to me. Great. So we're waiting. And it's supposed to be, again, after you order, but before your food comes. So our drinks come. No one's come and talk to me. So I say to the waiter, hey, it's like, I put the allergen thing on. Is someone going to talk to me? He's like, oh, yeah, just put it in your order. I said, yeah, I did. He said, oh, yeah, someone will be out. Okay. So I'm waiting. I'm not drinking anything because, again, I don't know what's in this.
Right.
So eventually someone comes out and was like, allergy? I'm like, oh, yeah, I have tree nut allergy. Like, what did you get? I don't want to go back and forth and trash this person, but she couldn't keep up with the very simple things I was saying.
I counted about 15 times. Genuinely, it was 10 to 15 that she asked, tree nut allergy?
She was like, peanut. I was like, nope,
she's gonna
tree
kill
nut.
him.
And she's like, oh, peanut and tree nut? I was like, just tree nut. But I got the dairy-free butterbeer. I think I had to say dairy-free butterbeer about 100 times.
Yeah.
Can you write it down? Like something? So then you had ordered some.
They shouldn't have to write it down if it's in the order that they made you make before you sit down.
Very good point. Yeah. So in the meantime, you had ordered some dessert or something that came out.
Yeah, sticky toffee pudding.
Sticky toffee pudding with some whipped cream on it. Great. So she comes back out, and they deliver another sticky toffee pudding to our table with no whipped cream on it.
Yeah, her eyes got so wide when she saw that sticky toffee pudding in front of me that we had not touched because we're like, we don't know. And this is nuts.
Do you know why her eyes got big? Do you want to say why?
Oh yeah, she said there were tree nuts in the whipped cream.
In the whipped cream. So first of all,
so they brought tree nuts to the table.
Something so innocuous as whipped cream just don't have allergens, right? You're gonna have milk, but everyone knows there's milk in it, right?
Right.
Don't put almond whatever in whipped cream if you're taking this seriously, right?
Yeah, they're not.
And secondly, you said it right there. What if I was some off the wall 6-year-old kid with a tree nut allergy, right?
Yeah.
I could be in the hospital. I could be dead.
Yeah.
I mean, literally.
Yeah.
It is so irresponsible for them to do that.
Yeah.
You can't make that mistake once.
No.
I mean, it was unbelievable. And by the way, this person was supposed to come out and talk to me before any food came. It took somebody, I don't know, 30 minutes to come out. And they are bringing stuff to the table that has the allergen.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I was blown away by how bad that was.
Yeah. And they were so nonchalant about it.
So
too.
nonchalant.
And like we were calm and polite and everything. But I mean, if somebody were super angry, I feel like that would be reasonable. Absolutely. And it was tough to get a straight answer about what was going on. It did not seem like she was paying attention.
No.
They said she was the chef too. I'm like, you don't know what's in the food.
And she
was like, what is this? And I'm like, pumpkin juice? Like, you don't recognize it? There's like 10 things on this menu.
And now I'm remembering why she had to keep asking if I had dairy-free buttermilk, because it wasn't in the book that she had brought out for all the allergens.
Oh, yeah.
She was like, I had to look on the computer. I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't care. Like, you got to tighten this
figure
up.
this out, yeah.
So, honestly, what I would say to anyone with a really serious food allergy is don't eat there. I mean, it was,
I don't know.
Again, they made a mistake that you cannot make, which is bring a food with the allergen in it to the table with someone with that allergy.
Yep.
I mean, can you make a bigger mistake?
No.
I mean, maybe a bigger mistake was telling someone it doesn't have it when it does. That's probably the biggest mistake. And then this is probably second.
But I mean, given how poor that interaction was and how much it seemed like she just wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
I had asked because I wanted to let you have a bite of this sticky toffee pudding if you wanted to, and you were like, I'm not going to. I'm like, no, that's fair. Like,
and I could have. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, but you didn't feel confident after that interaction that it was accurate information. About
good thing I didn't.
Yeah. Well, seriously, yeah.
I mean, can you imagine? So, Erin, I mean, honestly, this happened. So
I did file a complaint.
Yeah.
Because I feel like this is an important thing for guests of the park. Absolutely. To, like, this is potentially life-threatening. So I did it through the app or online, and I sent an email, explained the situation, and they responded and said, that's unacceptable, and they wanted me to describe what the person looked like. I didn't want to get into that. They were like, let me know if you have identifying physical features. No, I'm just telling you this is the person that said they were the chef this day and time that I was there. And, you should be able to track your employees without my help, I think. And they were like, okay, we take it really serious and we're going to look into it. There was no, that's it. That's the end of the story. But my hope is that they're like, if enough, I don't know, before something terrible happens, I'm hoping that having this information makes them more proactive with stuff like that. And
again, and what does that tell you? It tells you, oh, it's this one person's fault. They didn't follow our system, right? It's not, oh, there's something wrong with the system, right?
Right.
This has never happened to me at Disney. Nothing even close to this.
No.
And again, I don't, I take it seriously. Obviously, I don't want to have anything with nuts, but I always tell, if they say, what's the allergies? And always the waiter comes out. Always a chef or manager will come out and just check with me. At Disney, I mean, it's like, they have this down, and I've never thought twice about it. Yeah. I mean, I just have never thought. And when I saw that little allergy note thing on the Universal menu, I was like, great, this is how they handle it. This is a really nice way to handle it, right?
Yeah.
It's boom, this is this, and boom, boom, boom. No, it's not handled
No,
well.
The fact that you have to order it before you know what the allergens are was enough information. And I put that in the complaint, too. It was like, the system actually doesn't really make sense.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, because it's like, I guess you get a refund if the thing... Or they just bring you a nut-free version. It's like, well, what if I don't want this without the whipped cream? Right? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, we just assume that you're still good paying, right? It's like,
right. You have a version of everything that is not free or dairy-free or whatever, allergen-free.
Like, no. That's not the way to do it. Yeah, so I think those things were... just bad at Universal. I mean, it's not, they could improve. No, there's two things I would say there that are just be very cautious of those things. If those things apply to you, then consider your options. I would say.
Like the inclusivity, the accessibility.
Yep.
Are things that they don't necessarily value.
No, I and again, compared to Disney, where they value
the
it.
thing,
I mean, they truly. You see people, and you saw people in wheelchairs, mobility devices, at Universal as well, but all over Disney World, right? It's a place where people with physical disabilities or who have mobility issues or whatever need some level of accessibility are obviously well accommodated and comfortable, right? And I think Disney, we could go on and on about the ways that they do that, and Universal doesn't. So I don't want to end on that note, because overall I thought Universal was fantastic. And what I will say, just for the positives about Universal, it has, I think, some of the most thrilling rides. If you are into the thrill rides, roller coasters, Velocicoaster, Hagrid, Stardust Racers, the Hulk, if you like those kind of rides, you won't find that at Disney. There's nothing with that intensity at Disney World. I kind of wish there was, but there isn't. I'd say bang for your buck with the value resorts being so nice. And they're super nice at Disney too, but just nice in a different way at Universal. And the perk of the Express Unlimited passes in the signature hotels. That's something that Disney should be ripping off tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's such a good benefit. I think those things are really good reasons to go to Universal. And I just love the convenience of being able to go back and forth between the two parks.
Yeah.
It was easy to get over to Epic Universe as well. The buses were kind of all easy to navigate. We did have to wait a long time for a bus once. And that happens at Disney too. But I think those things at Universal, it's 100% worth checking out and worth spending at least a few days at. And I can't wait I want to check out Volcano Bay, the water park. It looks incredible. It looks like it puts Typhoon Lagoon and Blizzard Beast to shame, honestly.
Really?
So yeah, and I want to experience it, firsthand soon. But shout out to Universal. Other than those things that left a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth, I think especially now with Epic Universe, it's if it's your vibe, it's toe to toe with Disney. So and if Disney isn't quite your vibe, or if there's something about Disney's not quite doing it for you, Universal might be hitting the mark. So I don't know. What do you think?
I do have friends who vastly prefer Universal to Disney because they love the thrill rides. They love those specific fandoms. They love how being able to go from one place to the other quickly and easily. It really depends on preferences, I think, for a lot of things. And I thought it was so cool to go to Burke. There are just things that it's like there are experiences that you're not going to get elsewhere. You're not going to go to Diagon Alley, it's just a really unique and cool experience.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think the style the style aspect in terms of the theming in some places is right on par, if not even crazier, even better in some ways than that at Disney. I don't want to say better. It's different. And it's really cool. I think there's nothing quite like the Super Nintendo world at Disney. Yeah. I think it's not something Disney would do, I think. It is a little over the top, but I loved it. I loved it. So those things alone are worth checking out. So if you want to check it out, you know what you do?
I feel like I know someone who could help.
So yes, it's my big secret. I hope I have made clear that I can do this. But I can book Universal and any other vacations you are thinking about. You can get in touch with me. I'm just a Disney guy through and through. If I'm going to have a podcast, it's going to be about Disney. But I was so happy to go to Universal for those few days and be able to really dig in and experience it. First time in a long time. And I'll be back at Universal. So just get in touch with me, Steve at justaddmagictravel.com. And thank you to my sister for accompanying me.
Oh, my pleasure. And thanks for, planning another trip for me. Okay. It was great. You did a great job. And yeah, I do think next is going to be start Universal, then Royal Caribbean, then end in Disney. So
it's quite a trifecta. All right. I'm getting the post.
Since you can do all of those.
I'll have a book by tonight.
Okay, wonderful.